So I want to do a video today about my experience with how carbs and sugars was primarily destroying my body, and my experience with keto, healthy keto, and how I'm not using it for weight loss. And I think that's my niche here. Is I used to be overweight, but I lost all of my weight before I even went on keto, and that is important in this situation. To me, it's very relevant because people think that keto is just for weight loss, and that's a big problem, because you really don't have to do it just for weight loss. I started keto, I was at like 163 pounds, and I'm at 165 right now. And I have continued to lose some stubborn fat that I've had problems with throughout my life. I always kind of had that like pot belly thing going, even though I never really got really big. I mean, at my biggest, I was about 240 pounds. So, I mean, technically, you could say, yeah, I've lost almost 80 pounds total. But again, that was before keto. And the point I'm making here is the carbs and sugars, and it's not necessarily just pointing the finger at carbs and sugars, it's my insulin spikes that was destroying me. And I tend to do things to the extreme. So when I would eat like breakfast cereals, or I would have like desserts, I would eat a ton of it, like mainly cereal. Well, that was my weakness. I would have cereal as a dessert at night. Sometimes I wouldn't eat dinner until 10 o'clock. Then I would be very, I would eat a carb loaded meal, so I would still be hungry after. And then I'd smash down like 2 bowls of cereal. I'd be so bloated and full, and then I'd fall asleep. Well, you can get away with that, I'm sure, for a year, 2 years, but eventually, I mean, after the years of me doing that and just pummeling my body with carbs and sugars before bed, my body started to react to it. And I really thought it was okay because I wasn't getting like really fat. And it wasn't until I cut the sugar, which seems like a simple concept, but a lot of people don't try it, I guess, or they don't make the connection to the fact that those sugars and carbs can be causing a lot of freaking problems. If I get into this video making, I will like add pictures of my my symptoms. Now, obviously, hair loss is one of them. You can see that I've lost a lot of my hair on top. It actually almost looks like it's finally starting to grow back a little bit. I think that's kind of wishful thinking, but that's one thing. Another thing you will not be able to see, and I never had actually tested, but I do, no matter how you spin it, I have peripheral neuropathy, or neuropathy, however you want to say it. And what that is it's pretty much just your nerves either hurting, tingling, numbness. There's a lot of bad sensations with your nerves, and that is very freaking scary. So I started getting neuropathy, and I never caught the early signs of it. It all started one day when I was fishing, and I was holding my fishing pole, and my hands started to hurt, and I was just kind of like, what the hell is that? And like it started to go numb, and I'm like, that is not right. And but I didn't really think a whole lot into it. I stopped, went home from fishing, the pain kind of went away, and I didn't really make a connection. Well, another year down the road, my feet started hurting really bad. My hands would go numb, my circulation was very poor, and then of course under investigation, I guess I self-diagnosed with peripheral neuropathy. And so that's number 2. So I had hair loss, I had peripheral neuropathy, eczema. Oh my God, I had the worst eczema. And I can post pictures of that too. That's something that you can see very well. You can see how bad it got in my skin. These spots right here would never go away over like a year. And then on my head, I had eczema real bad. Then it started spreading my body. I had really bad, you can see the scar there. I had a really bad spot of eczema on my elbow, and then literally everywhere on my body. And the point is this was all happening, and people are like, you look up, oh, what's the cause of eczema? Well, a lot of times you'll read that, oh, there's no known cause. And it's like, okay, maybe not for most people or whatever. Maybe they can't, maybe it's their detergent or something. Eczema is not a skin problem, though. That's what we really need to understand with eczema particularly. It is a symptom of a deeper issue. It's a symptom. It's not a skin issue. Your skin doesn't just say, oh, well, I'm going to have eczema now just because. No. It's something in your diet, it's something you're doing to your body, or it is something maybe you're putting on your skin. But nonetheless, it's a reaction. It's a problem in itself. It's more of like when you get a blister from a burn. That blister is from a burn. You don't just get a blister, if that makes sense to you. So anyway, I got the really, really, really bad eczema. I have the peripheral neuropathy. I had the baldness. I did gain weight. Now, the thing was here, I was pre-diabetic. I was testing my blood sugar in the morning. I was fasting over 100 blood sugar, of course. But the real thing to emphasize here is the fact that it was undetected. Okay, so like if you go to a doctor or something, they're going to test your blood sugar. They say, oh, your glucose levels are here. Well, my body got pretty good at processing these huge insulin spikes up until the fact where it couldn't handle these insulin spikes anymore, and it started causing symptoms like my eczema. My hair was the first one. My hair had fallen out over many years of abuse in my food. And the sad part is it's everything, all this food is so accepted. It's so normal to go to Burger King and get fries and a burger and just totally spike that insulin. But who's checking their blood sugar after that? You know what I mean? And who's thinking like, oh, well, this insulin spike, it's not a big deal. Everybody just spikes their insulin all day long everywhere. And it's like, no, like how significant is that insulin spike? How long can your body handle those spikes before your body says, dude, I can't handle it anymore? Like your pancreas is saying, like, I can't process these insulin spikes anymore. And that's when you start really having issues. Some people, they gain weight. Some people, they lose their hair. Some people get eczema. These insulin spikes are being proven to cause 90% of average of all ailments, all illness in this world. So think about that. That is insane. So if you were these major companies, they wanted people sick or whatever they want, or they just want cheap produce, like cheese, sugar and carbs, is all of that shit wrapped up is cheap, like the corn oil, the soy oil. That stuff is all so cheap, and that turns into pure poison in our bodies once we ingest it. Okay, so the point I'm making here is keto saved me. Okay, I was having all these problems. I lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of muscle. So, and you'll notice with some diabetics, they lose weight. Some diabetics, they get very frail though. They lose all of their weight and muscle because your body pretty much is just so confused, and it's just so sick of processing this crap we put in it all day that it doesn't know what else to do. So it starts pulling reserves from different parts of your body. It'll pull from your muscles, it'll pull from some fat, but your symptoms are going other directions. People think, oh, if I'm not fat, I can eat whatever I want. Well, that's not the case. How is it harming you is the question. How is it harming you? Because if it's not gaining weight, it's probably harming you in some other way that you don't know. And a lot of times, for people who don't gain weight, it is like hair loss. You look at people are losing your hair at 30 is normal now. That's not normal. Like, people used to lose their hair when they got really old. Now, or you see people with eczema or anxiety problems or all this stuff. And people aren't, they don't know what the hell all these problems are coming from. And a lot of it is carbs and sugars. So my gig is I started researching like my symptoms. Like, dude, why the hell do I have my nerves hurting? Like, I didn't rush to a doctor. I probably should have, but I didn't. And I started digging and digging and digging, and not just reading the first web page that comes up from WebMD or some other Healthline website that pretty much just puts out information that everybody already knows. I'm reading between the lines. I'm digging deeper, and I'm learning from the people who read between the lines, who will look at what an ingredient in this food not only is, but what does it turn you into? What does it happen? What happens in your body after you ingest this ingredient, like soybean oil or canola oil? Like, oh yeah, it's got no carbs. Well, that's in the bottle. What does it do when it goes into your body? It spikes insulin. So that's just an example of reading between the lines and looking deeper than just what we're told. Like, oh, this has 0 carbs. This doesn't hurt you. And it's like, how do you know that? Like, we're just literally ingesting all these millions of different types of ingredients and just hoping that it doesn't kill us or hurt us. It sounds like a fucking gamble to me. And the point that I'm making here, I don't want this video to be too long, is I just need to specify in the fact that I started researching these people, and I came to the conclusion that my nerve problem was from insulin spikes. So I started following people on YouTube that specialize in treating insulin spikes, and that led me to keto. I look into keto and I'm like, well, this is a fat loss. This is to train your body to run off fats, to use your fat reserve. Well, if you're supplementing enough fat, you're not going to lose weight. So that's the big thing here, is keto should not be referred to as a diet, but more of a lifestyle. I started keto at 165 pounds. I'm 167. I've continued to lose some weight in places where I don't normally, but I started gaining muscle. So I'm kind of doing like a trade-off. I'm hoping to continue gaining weight as I'm on keto, but I'm happy to maintain. The point is, all my issues started going away. My nerve pain slowed way down. My eczema, obviously you can see my eczema has cleared up for the most part, almost completely. And my hair is starting to slowly grow back. And there was other problems I had that I can't even put my finger on right now for some reason. But my tinnitus in my ear, I started getting, that's due to insulin spikes. My left eye is very, very bad in that, not just the left eye, but your eyesight and everything is all connected to the insulin spikes. So my body was being attacked in ways that I wasn't really noticing, other than like my teeth. My teeth are pretty in good shape now. They're not anything to be a model. I've had 4 teeth pulled. I mean, that tells you that I've just constantly was, for one, I could have brushed more, but I was just constantly pummeling my teeth and my mouth with sugar and carbs. And they say that carbs are actually what harm your teeth, not the sugar itself. So that's also something to keep in mind. Like, even if you eat bread and you like have some bread at night and you don't brush after, like, that is just generating bacteria. It's just totally helping that bad bacteria just tear your teeth apart. So, but these are things that sugar and carbs have done to me. Now, I'm not saying that they're the devil, but there's something to be conscious of. We would just, everybody would just go through our lives just, carbs are normal. Like, we just smash carbs down, and it's like, dude, our bodies aren't designed to literally just eat carbs. Like, yes, I'm sure we can handle carbs, from some berries we picked and all of that. But back in the day, we weren't, when our bodies were designed, they were designed a certain way, and they weren't designed to eat a cheeseburger with some French fries and a milkshake. Take your blood sugar after you do that. If you're not in your teens, and you've done that for a while, take your blood sugar after going to Dairy Queen and having a burger and fries and a shake. You're not going to be happy. Your blood sugar, I guarantee, is going to be huge. And it's those spikes. Everybody's body gets used to these spikes. It's those spikes that are destroying people in all different ways. And there's a lot more to be elaborated on about our symptoms from sugars and carbs, about how some people get fat, some people get eczema, some people lose their hair, some people, they get all these other diseases. Alzheimer's is being considered type 3 diabetes now. They say Alzheimer's develops decades before you even start seeing the first symptom. So that means you could be in good shape, you could not have any skin problems, you could have all these things going for you, but you drink 6 Cokes a day. Where the hell are those insulin spikes? Where is the aftermath from that? Because nobody is immune to those insulins. Everybody's body is not designed for that. You cannot handle that much. So, for example, you have the people who get Alzheimer's when they're 50, 60, and they're just like, oh, well, we don't know where this has come from. I'm totally healthy. And this disease is just randomly attacking people. And it's like, fuck no, it's not. That is your symptom to drinking those fucking 6 Cokes a day. That is where your body went to when it said, I can't handle these insulin spikes anymore. It does, I don't know the scientifics behind it, but it does something. It starts either taking from your brain tissue. I don't know exactly what happens, but all I know is that person's symptom to the insulin spikes. It is not just random. And I guarantee a lot of these cancers and shit are going to be linked to this as well. I guarantee it. So the point is, cut the sugar out. If you're having problems, cut out the sugar, cut out the carbs. If you're not having problems, just be conscious of it, right? So, like, if you are going to go eat something, pull the bun off of a burger every once in a while. Like, if you're just being conscious of, these huge things that we don't even see, they're right under our nose, starting to get conscious of the fact that, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't eat all these carbs at once. Maybe my blood sugar is going to go through the roof. Anyway, I want to do more videos like this. If anybody has any questions about my personal experience, or they want to know how I handle what I've gone through, or how I figured out my problems, please hit a like or comment or whatever, and let me know, like, hey, dude, I'm going through this. How did you cut sugars out, and how did you kind of beat carbs? And a lot of it I owe to keto, and a lot of it I owe to YouTube and stuff. So I just wanted to give back. This video has become very long, but I just wanted to explain my story And I wanted to just kind of maybe come from a different angle about keto and explain that keto is not just fat loss. Keto is true health, and just go from there, man. So hopefully I help somebody out today. And yeah, hit me up if you have any questions. I would be glad to answer anything that I can. Thank you.